see it go shine, go shine. Let me 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 see it go shine.
What's going on? The gold trade is still good. I need to look at Euro USD, Euro NZD. Um, yeah, they keep going up to them little 40, 50 pips, and then something like this too. What I could do if the candles was closing like that, I'd just put my stop loss in profit. But I think that's going to keep rising. It's just faking out because everybody in on that. Okay, the Euro USD sale did good.
8534. Nice. And
Not
40.
mine.
Okay, what's going on with the other one? You're losing. What's happening with that one?
That's the gold that I just looked at. It's at the entry. See, it
Oh,
was just up, it's down.
yeah, it's down now.
Yeah, that's the one. It's yeah, keep bouncing around.
Hmm.
I might, I might exit that, but I've got a feeling. No, I'll just wait. It's either gonna hit my stop loss or my TP. I got an alert for the TP because if this holds that blueberry, this could rise the rest of the week.
Mm-hmm.
And with this long wick, I don't think it's coming back down there. That was a stop hunt.
Oh
It came
wow.
and did the low.
That is a long wick. On a buy.
Mm-hmm.
On a buy candle too.
Mm-hmm. That was a stop hunt because I was in this first and it came down to hit my stop loss. I believe a lot of people saw this obvious buy, and so it came and stopped everybody out. And people probably retook it again like I did, and that's why I keep playing around, wicking up here. Even though that's the water, I believe it wants to hold the blueberry and keep. You see, but this is Tuesday, so it's not early enough exactly to tell if this wants to buy or sell for the week. Only because of how it's moving now. We get Monday was consolidation.
It's in the beginning phase to
Buy.
for the other part of the W, ain't it?
Yeah, exactly. So this is what I see, and that's good. I'm gonna go to the hour chart to be easier to see it. It held this zone. This technically could be the first leg of a big W. That would be your M in the middle here. That is an M. And then it
Mm-hmm.
came in
Good.
here that zone.
It's coming back down to make a W.
Yeah. And so if it does one big W, um, this would be my first spot to look at for a TP. This zone here, which is this sell zone here, and then it should come to the middle of the W. Let me see if I can show. Uh, gotta hold on. Let me take this off. Okay, I want to draw it. We got the first leg here, second leg, and this would be the middle of a W. So it should come up to that point at least if it's going to do this W and hold this big W.
Oh, I didn't see that, but wow.
Yeah. That's what I went over this last week because Randy was like, when do we get out? And I started showing that you basically just go for the next highest point. So we got one big W.
Mm-hmm.
Another one of the things you mentioned is that the M's often have W's in the middle, right? So that whole thing
Yeah.
may be one big M.
So the
Hmm.
M's will have W's and the W's will have M's.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And a good spot to get out is if you see a W, not even get out, but take a partial, is if you notice the W, you need to look for that M that's in the middle. So I could break it down because there's a lot of ways to do that.
I usually
Um,
get out when it kept up and must across again.
that too, that might be a little sometimes late, but that's
Yeah, it
good.
is late sometimes.
Especially,
Right?
Especially if you caught 3 to 5 days, that wouldn't be too bad. But there could have
What
been a
Joey
spot
said when the what does what?
when the ketchup and mustard crosses again. If you getting a W for a buy and the ketchup crosses the mustard for a sale, you get out.
Huh.
So same thing when I said if you're getting in on the second leg of a W, you get out on the second leg of an M.
Mm-hmm.
So
Get out when it starts to sell. Okay.
this could be that. This is an example of that. You got your second leg of your W, and now you got your second leg of your M. And so you don't necessarily have to get out. You could take a partial, which is what I've been doing with this buy entry here. I had bigger lot sizes on that before it is what it is now. Or it's like it's at a 0.05 now. It was way more than that at first. I've been taking partials along the way. So the way this works is, because I want to show that, and this is a head and shoulders pattern. It's inverted. Got a shoulder here, your head, then another shoulder there, and that was your entry. That's one thing I see. Another thing is it's actually bigger than what I'm looking for. This still, that's your W. This is the middle, the M in the middle. And then something like, let me see. Okay, if I was looking for the sale and this was my M, this is the W in the middle. So when I caught the second leg, let's say you got into the sale, catch across the mustard there, your TP would have been here. The W, the bottom of the W, or at least you would have took a partial. And then your next one would be honestly where it's at now, because you were looking for this zone to hold. So you take a TP there, take a TP here, and I know this ain't gonna move how I want it to, but we redraw it. Get your M here. That's the W in the middle of that. This is a bigger W. So the next TP would be here, which it did for the day if you was at the top of that sale. And if you were looking for more sales, your next TP would be there. And then if it breaks that, there, and then there. You keep looking for lower points. And you would have to scroll left at that point and look for your next lowest point. That's when I would do something like put a line on the chart, put that line right there, and I go look for what's lower after that, which would be here at another point. The blue line's there, so my next lowest point is right here, where this other W is at. And then you just keep doing that. If you're holding trades longer term, keep looking for the next lowest point. That would be the next one right there. Just keep going. Go your other one off the blueberry right there. Yeah, and you just keep going and going till you can't no more. Oh, they hating on me today. Yeah, they look like they want to. That's going to give off a sale on the scanner. That's going to say, forget the blueberry. The blueberry going to be on top. That's a
I'm
wild
stuck in the
reversal.
same trade on silver.
Yeah, that'll be a wild reversal though, because this right here was clearly a stop hunt. It could be doing a triple top, a triple bottom W, but I don't think I would wait for that. I'd probably get out and wait for it to get down there first.
So
If
4
I'm not
hour
gonna,
water too, ain't it?
yeah, I believe so. Yeah, it closed under the water.
Oh, it's under the water.
Well, it ain't closed yet, but it's under there. It done bounced up. We got to see how that go. So it really depends on how this hour counter going to close. And this looks good for a sale too. I'm not gonna lie though, that do look good for a sale. Now there's two things I'm seeing because it's Tuesday. I'm seeing the consolidation. This could be a stop hunt low for Tuesday. It could pull back and do another attempt and then make the W. Or this is completely reversed already, at least for the week. And that's your M's already been set. You got your first leg here, you got a W in the middle. Second leg, continuation. The mustard has crossed the water for the second level. This could be level 1 consolidation here, and then come to make a level 2 consolidate in a level 3. So it could be selling for the week.
How's it going, Randy?
It's going. I'm just watching right now. I gotta wait
Okay.
to get home to my computer to know about the algo trading.
Oh, okay.
When you're able to do that, let me know and we can test it out.
Cool. Appreciate it.
Good. Yeah, it's interesting to see how this is going to play out.
Yep.
I can't do the 15.
Well, y'all,
We can do that live.
I can go for a little more if y'all want to go. But then at the same time, let me see the euro. Yeah, the euro USD sale did good. I guess I could have entered that with a bigger lot, but I didn't want to overdo it. I still sticking to my 1%, 2%. I almost want to close that out. That was up way more in profit. I ain't gonna lie. Tuesday be my worst doing this. Cause I'll be all over the place on the call. What I could do is go ahead and put the stop loss in profit. So I ain't losing that. If it keep going, if it keep dropping, ooh, let's pull them back. I'll do that. I'll feel safe about that. And the gold, I'm gonna have to tug it. I want to see how this 15-minute candle close. They catch across the mustard and they give off that sell. This I'm like, man, I don't even know if I'm gonna take it. I'll just get out. Because it's too choppy at this time of the day. The market's about to slow down too. It got a few hours to go, but I don't care to find entries once noon comes. We do got a good sell though on the TDI. The way the TDI works is bouncing off the 50. It made an M under the 50. It held the Bollinger Band, green crossed the red already. So if it catch up did cross the mustard, that would be my last confirmation. The TDI is definitely showing the sell. And it's under the blueberry. It didn't want to hold the blueberry basically, even though it's at the low of the day and then the wick way down there. If it does drop today, I'd look for sales the rest of the week. Because that could be the 3 to 5. You might want to do 3 to 5 days of drop. And the first one was Friday, technically. This was day 1, market opened here. If you can't tell, it's always either go to the day chart. The day chart to tell you. Let me remove that. Yep, got one red candle here. Second here. And see, it's at the mustard. It could be holding the mustard. Catch across the mustard. Day chart, crossed it up. This is the first time it pulled back to the mustard. Well, I guess it kind of been tapping it. It has hit it. Somebody saying something? But then it look like we got a sell. So this is how the TDI work too. Make it a little wider. So we got the M and it bounced off of this is supposed to be yellow. Things because my lines and stuff is yellow. It didn't know what to do with itself. I don't know. But it looked like it's making an M off of that. This line acts as the water. It's the market baseline. So just like how it was on top here and it kind of held it. This was your A ran across the red going back down and it did the sell. So right here it looked like another M. And this is the day chart. So if that crosses, it's gonna sell heavy. Let's see what the 4 hour look like. One thing about the TDI, when it's on a higher, like a 4 hour or 1 hour time frame, that thing accurate. That was your first leg. That's an M in the middle. Ran across the red down for the M in the middle, and then it did the W. And it took off after that. Came up. This right here bounced off the market baseline the same way it would the water. Ran across the red going up. That was your second leg of your W. And every time it crossed back up, those were new entries. Yeah, so it might be looking to sell. This is almost a head and shoulders too. We got our shoulder here. We got our head, and then that was the second shoulder. It's almost even with the first, which is still pretty much like a triple top M kind of thing. My favorite day is Wednesday because the reversal, the midweek is clear. Because Tuesday, it's still the 5 phases. Monday consolidation, Tuesday stop point low is what it looked like it did. It was going to continue to sell, it'll sell, but this could just be a stop point low and reversing to keep buying. Gotta wait for that to play out. Wednesday and Thursday, I'll go all in, like my lot sizes and all of that. Anybody got any questions? Should I keep going? I don't want to overdo it either. Mika, you good?
For now.
Okay. Yeah, if they crossing down, that's on a 15-minute. Closed under the blueberry. I don't even want to overdo it, but I do want to get something to them. I want to get in the sale.
Mm.
The 30-minute. I checked the 32.
How does the 30-minute help you?
Just to still look at the TDI for the most part and see if it's holding any indicators. Is the ketchup mustard going to cross or anything like that? I go through all the time frames for the most part, at least starting from the 15. I'm going to get out of this. Close. Yeah.
You getting out of the trade?
Out there to buy on gold. The Euro NZD one's still going. The ketchup cross mustard going down, the water on top. If this candle closes going down, the scanner is going to tell me to sell. The blueberry is on top. The TDI is aligned. I would want to do something like this. This is my demo. So, and Randy ain't hooked. After this, we're gonna make sure we're good. But this is what I would do for this. I will sell in this. And I don't have nothing hooked up to this right now. I wanted to show the differences with the MT4, MT5 today. Something like this my stop loss will be right here. And I have to come and break that point. By that, go back to that. That's about 104 pip stop loss. So then I'd want to look for that on my TP. Yeah, it'd be right back down to that point. But I'm not gonna lie, it's probably gonna do more than that. But I'm gonna put it different. I wish we could type that in. Like you got it, and then you move your finger and you move it again. I still like trade like I said, I ain't gonna. And if the scanner give that off, that seal, then I know it's gonna keep going. This right here will be sticking to the rules though. Water on top, catch across the mustard going down. I see a M in my RSI TDI. It's not in the sell zone, but it bounced off the Bollinger Bands, the support and resistance, and did an M off of that, and that's already crossed. This candle just open. If I was looking for a sell, that's honestly couldn't have been a better entry waiting on all those confirmations. I'll sit here and go to trading view. Let me look at gold. I'll wait. And if a sale pops up on here, that'll be my confirmation, and I'll end the call with that. This candle is going to close at 11:45. So we got about 11 minutes. If it's closed and gives off the sale, that'll be the confirmation. And I'll let that play out.
Mm-hmm.
So some of my stop losses that I do want to go over, I'll do it while we're on this chart, is that I wasn't going to put my stop loss way up here. I'm going to count these pips. So I'm going to just put it at the top of the counter. And if I was to go way up here, that's about 537 pips.
Now, is that for your foot close or your big lot?
You said what now?
Is that for your foot close or your big lot?
I ain't gonna lie. I was finna go to Trade Locker and show that. Let me see. Let me go to a demo.
Yeah, I was trying to see how you do the difference between your foot closes and your big lot, the difference between when you put them in and stop lot.
Look at this update. Load now the chart's low faster. I'm gonna be honest with you. The only reason I would use MetaTrader is for a NaviTrader, and I suppose I guess the Paradise Capital. I would still want to go to Trade Locker to edit other, because I can find an account. Well, if I do Trade Locker still, I'm gonna do Funder Pro, and they don't allow copy trading. You have to do everything yourself. But if you went and did a live like what Randy's doing, you could still come in here and edit. Now, see, this is the only thing that I feel MetaTrader is missing, is that risk calculator. Because if I came in here and did this and put my stock way up there and left a little room for the spread, I wouldn't want to take this, but Trade Locker would make me take something like this, because I can still change it to I'm only going to risk 1%. It did that all wrong. Matter of fact, I think I had to just Okay, there we go. Start over. What's that? 3.3. I'm gonna put 3.350. Price 3.350. 160 pips. And then if I went in here and did the risk, that would make me take something like that. And so the reason why I'm pointing this out because since I'm in a sale where I'm at, I'm basically looking for, if you're in a sale, you need to look for the top of M or an A. And this is too far for me to even want to take this at the high of the day like that. So that's why I moved it here because that's my next M or A. If it's going to sell, it's going to hold that area. I could put it above the water if I want it, but it needs to be at least above on the candlesticks, the first leg or the second leg of the M, whichever one is higher. You want to put your stop loss above that because it's basically holding that zone. It shouldn't come back up to wick that if it's going to sell. Basically, that's how I look for where my stop loss is going to be. If it's too far for me to put it at the higher or low of the day. See, it makes sense for me to get into a buy and have a stop loss right here because that's not a whole lot of pips. I'm willing to risk 100 pips on average for a stop loss on gold. But since now I'm in the sale, I just did it there and it still ended up being like 100 pips at the time I placed it. I just wanted to point that out. So like, let me see. I'm going to look at this for an example. If I catch across the mustard, let's say they gave me off a sale right there and I'm right here. Instead of putting it at the high of the day up there, I'd have put it above this zone here. If that wicked off, that already reached for whatever it was reaching for. And it shouldn't come back there again. That way I'm not risking so much, even though I could change my lot size to still calculate 1, 2, or 3% of whatever I'm using. And honestly, I would still use Trade Locker for that purpose. If you have a Trade Locker account the same size as your MetaTrader or whatever, and you can still go in here and still use the risk calculator to come up with a lot size if you need another way to do it. There's websites where you can Google a risk calculator for Forex or something like that and do it that way too. I used to use one. I have to find it. I'll find it another time and I can put that in the group or something. And that'll be something else where you would just be typing it in. You would type in your entry, your stop loss, and then put in a percentage. And it'll come up with the lot size you need to use. But I'd rather use Trade Locker still for that. But that's something else you could do. Sometimes if you don't want to put your stop loss at the high or the low of the day because it's just too far, I'll do 100 pips easy. I'm not gonna lie. I never did bigger lot sizes until I was using Trade Locker because of that risk calculator. It just made me easy. It made it easier for me to just do it all in app. But like, let's say if I want to do 200 or 300 pip stop losses, that's what I would do. And if I don't want to go that high, I look for a point like that. So something like this, we're going to look at this right here. Like, okay, green across the red going up. And I want to enter in right here. But my low of the day is way down here. Instead, I will put it below this zone here. That's a triple bottom W. After it did those 3 touches, it took off. So if I had to enter like up in here after that counter close or something and put my stop loss down there, it never would have came back down there. Those are other things I have to look at. This is another example right here. This is kind of like what gold could be doing right now. Water was on top, pitched across the mustard, and I would have entered somewhere around here where that candle closed. I'd have put my stop right above that M, and it would have been above the water at the same time, instead of putting it way up here at the high of the day. And the only way I suggest is if you're going to put it up at the high of the day like that far, is that means that your TP is at least that same size. If you see the move doing that much and giving out that many pips and that's what you're going for, then do it. You can have a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio at least. If your TP and stop loss is like 300-400 pips, 500 pips a piece, then I would do something like that. But if my TP is gonna be 100 pips, or maybe if it's a little bit more, I don't want that stop loss to be way bigger than that. So I keep all of that in mind. Because to me, a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio is minimum. It's not the best. That's still kind of bad. Because that at 60% is, to me, that's not good enough. If I'm winning 6 out of 10 trades every time with a 1-to-1, I'm barely making it. But if I can come up with a 1-to-2, even a 1 to a 1.5, if you're risking 100 pips, go for 150 pips, something like that. That makes more sense. I'm still waiting on this candle. I'm going to see if TradingView going to give off the sale. So on how this candle closes, it's definitely going to give it off. This candle stays in this position. It's not, the candle ain't turning green, so it's going to give off the sale. And they do that, I'll end it with that. It should continue to do that. At least it'll come at least to the bottom of this wick, the low of the day, and retest that. It's either going to bounce off of that or it's going to keep going. I believe it's going to keep selling. It's probably going to be slow, most likely. Probably because it was a holiday yesterday too. And it gave off the move London session. London session was a big major move, so 32.85. I'm gonna count the pips on that. So they did that wrong. One thing go. I'm gonna go to the higher today. Ooh, 640 pips. $42 candles on the 15-minute. Took 10 hours. And one thing to remember that the market is going to move in one direction 4 to 8 hours, 2 4-hour candles a day. There goes the sale, 15-minute. New candle just opened. That's it. All right. I think I don't use my mouse.
It's starting to start counting candles. I didn't know the measurement could do it like that.
What'd it do? What happened?
When you went left or right,
Mm-hmm.
or counting the candles and the amount of time, I didn't know it could do that.
Yeah. It don't got it counts the candles on MT5 too. I could show that one more time before we get off of here. It's not gonna show the time. But yeah. This is what TradingView is the best. For looking, that's why TradeLocker was so good, is based off of it. But yeah, 5 hours. And you could change the time frame to count the different amount of candles. That took 42 15-minute candles. I'll go to
What's
the
the
hour chart.
percent that's coming up? And also that number prior to.
That would have, I'm not sure what lot size that's using. And it's contracts on TradingView, how it's counting it. It's because this is a demo account on here, so it's counting the percentage of the account, basically. Like
Why they both negative?
that's basically almost 2% of my account. Like if I went to the actual 2, that would have been 2% of my account. If I had to take that trade, basically. But I'm not sure what lot size is counting. So yeah, it was 14 bars on the 1 hour chart instead of the 42 like it was on the 15. That's that. And then I'm gonna show it again on MT5. How that works. I'm gonna show the same thing. I'm gonna just go to that top of the day. So we'll go here. I will go down there. And so yeah, see the first number, the 42, still with the like if I did it like that way, 42 candles. It's not showing the time. And then the number on the right is the pips. You have to add a 0 with gold, so that would be 623 pips. Like right there would have been the 600. So for 500, the 400, because of that 40, you would add a 0. That's how many pips it would be. And that's how many candles it took. That's how that counts. Gold like it's gonna keep playing. I'm actually gonna close that and pull back up right away as soon as it did that. I'm resetting on that for the day. Because honestly, that'll like a buy all over again. So I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm not gonna keep playing with it. However, today ends will let me know what I need to look for the rest of the week. Right now, it's still not even clear. That could still keep dropping, but that structure is just not clear. There's too much going on. This wick right here showed the buy. It could be doing a triple bottom, like I said. It dropped, but then as soon as that dropped and gave it, it's pulling back up. And it could pull up to maybe just to catch up in the blueberry or the mustard or something in the blueberry and then drop again. But it's not clear enough or good enough for me. And especially with the time of the day and it's finna be noon. Me, I'm gonna just leave it alone. I ain't gonna chase that. Because the overall move was that drop. And there's no news, so nothing crazy or fast is gonna happen. So I'm gonna conclude it with that.